let us start with the pathway of anaphylactic reaction, how it happens. Now before we start with the process, it's better you sit with the pathway of antibody mediated immunity. If you sit with that, it would be easier for you to understand the concept here. Okay, now here what happens, let us take the example of lungs. When a pollen, which is an allergic, suppose this person is allergic to pollen, a pollen enters into the system. Okay, as it enters into the system, now your body, I told you, it has to recognize and respond. It recognizes it is a foreign substance, and since it recognizes it as a foreign substance, there are macrophages who are sitting there. Okay, I told you in the mucus there are macrophages who are sitting there. Macrophages would understand that it is a foreign particle and it has to engulf it. Now this is the same thing what I had told you in antibody mediated immunity also. Now once the macrophages ingest this foreign particle, this pollen, what happens is that the pollen gets digested into smaller proteins, smaller particles, and this is then presented with the help of the MHC on the top of the macrophage. This also we had studied in AMI and CMI. The macrophage is now acting as an antigen presenting cell, so hence it presents the antigen with a part of an antigen with the help of a MHC. Okay, now again I had told you that this is now identified by a T helper cell. The TH cell has receptors to this particular antigen which is presented on the mast cell. So this T helper cell will come and bind to this antigen. Now if you see in this picture here, you can see that I've shown that this is the macrophage. Macrophage is having a MHC. MHC is holding the antigen, it is presenting the antigen. The T helper cell comes and binds to this antigen which is presented on the master cell. So what does it do is it will release out, once this complex is formed, okay, it will release out the interleukins, interleukin 4, 5 and 2. Now interleukin 2 is not important here, interleukin 2 is also there, but then interleukin 4, 5, 2 also it releases out. Now what this interleukin 2 will do is, interleukin 2 is actually involved in the activation. Interleukin 2 activates the growth factor of the B cell, and hence the B cell gets differentiated. You know, I had told you there that it gets activated and the B cell gets activated, it gets differentiated to, yes, into primary B cell and secondary B cell. Okay, primary B lymphocyte, secondary B lymphocyte. Primary B lymphocyte will undergo the process further. Yes, okay. Now here what happens is interleukin 2, yes, will activate the B cell. B cell will get differentiated into many cells here. Okay. Now what happens is B cell will in turn give rise to the plasma cell. Same thing we had studied even in the antibody mediated immunity. Plasma cell will in turn give rise to what? Antibodies. Yes or no? Okay, now actually I had told you, if you remember, that the first antibody that is produced on the onset of any foreign substance, any reaction, any foreign substances, when it enters, antigen when it enters, which antibody is produced? IgM, and then it is IgG, isn't it? So same thing, plasma cell will give rise to antibodies, that is IgM and IgG, and antigen antibody complex is formed. This antigen antibody complex is now recognized by scavenger cell, engulfs, or complement gets activated. This is what we had studied. Okay, now here there is a slight change. I told you that it is a genetic disorder, yes or no? What happens here is that the B cell here has a small mutation. that has happened in the people, in the atopic people. Okay, now here there is a small protein mutation, protein that has got mutated. Now instead of interleukin, what it will do is, this protein that has got mutated, it has an attraction towards interleukin 4. This doesn't happen in otherwise. Okay, it has an attraction towards interleukin 4. So what this will do is, this part, this mutated part will attract interleukin 4. Interleukin 4 will come and bind to this. Now if the interleukin 4 will come and bind to this, what will happen? Yes, the B cell will in turn give rise to the plasma cell, we all know. But the plasma cell, it had to actually give rise to IgM and IgG. But because of this mutation here and because of interleukin 4, what happens is, this plasma cell will now produce IgE. It's not IgM and IgG in healthy people. In non-atopic people, it is IgM and IgG that is produced. But if the person is allergic, there is a small genetic mutation that is seen here, and IgE is produced from the plasma cell. Okay, now this happens, this much is a reaction when the pollen enters for the first time. So body does not show any reactions. Okay, second time when the body, inside the body, when the pollen enters, what happens is that the same reaction continues. Along with that, the antibodies are already there. What do these antibodies do is, they go and sit on the mast cells. Okay, now the mast cell they have receptors for IgE. Now the IgG and IgM do not have, so they do not follow this pathway now. Okay, the IgE now come and sit on the mast cell. There are many IgEs which will come and sit here throughout. I have just shown 2 antibodies here. Second time when it comes, the antigen is not there here. Okay, but the second time when it comes, these smaller particles of antigen, they come and bind to the antigen binding site of the antibody. I had told you that every antibody has antigen binding sites. I have shown you here on top. Okay, so the antigen comes and binds. The smaller particles will come and bind to the antigen binding site here. And also the small particle of the antigen comes and binds in between of the 2 antibodies here. Okay, now when they come and bind here in between of the 2 antibodies, there is antibody also, there is antigen also, isn't it? There is a friction that is created in the mast cell. Because of this friction, the mast cell will lead to degranulation. Okay, now degranulation means what? The entire component, the wall of the mast cell dissolves, and whatever is there inside is released out. What gets released out? Let us see. It is histamines, heparins. They are all the ones who are involved in the allergic reactions. Serotonin, it is very weak. Serotonin is very weak, but that does not get involved in this thing. And also it gives rise to the complement. It activates the complement system. So which means, if this degranulation happens, complement also can get activated. Complement will start releasing out, producing all those proteins. You know that along with that, 3A and 5A also gets activated. Now if you remember, 3A and 5A will lead to allergic reactions. I had told you it leads to vasodilation. I had shown you the blood vessel and shown how the vasodilation actually happens. Okay, no, not a problem. We will again see what happens there today. Okay, so these are the components that gets released out after the degranulation. What are the things? That is histamine, heparin, serotonin, and complement also gets activated here. Okay, now what does this histamine and heparin do? I will tell you. Now let us see the structure of the lung here. Okay, if you see, this is the structure of the bronchus that I have shown, what does it have? It has, definitely there is a lumen, there is mucosa, there are goblet cells, these are the goblet cells, and there are the blood vessels. What are the things it has? It has, this is the lumen, okay. There is a mucosa, this is the mucosal layer, these are the goblet cells, these are the goblet cells, these are the blood vessels, and in dark what I have shown here, these are the smooth muscles. These are the smooth muscles. Now what are their functions? Goblet cells are the ones who actually who are involved in the secretion of the mucus. Okay, the blood vessels, it transfers the blood. Okay, now what happens here is, what does this histamine and heparin do? The histamine and heparin will increase the production of the goblet cells, increase the activity of the that means there will be increase of mucosa, which means in the lumen there will be excess production of the mucosa. So it will be filled with mucus. The lumen will be filled with mucus. So now you will know why the person who is suffering from allergic reactions, there is secretion of mucus. Okay, some of the people, not everybody. And the goblet cell, yes, of course, it increases the mucus secretion. Because of the mucus secretion increases, what happens? The lumen, capacity of the lumen becomes less. Capacity of lumen becomes less, what happens? Definitely the intake of oxygen also reduces because the space that is less. So again there is breathlessness. The person cannot intake oxygen because the space is less here, and hence the oxygen intake will be less. The person has breathlessness. That is what you see in wheezing. Now what happens in this blood vessels? Blood vessels, I had told you in the previous class. See, if this okay, now if this is the blood capillary, blood vessel, you can see the blood vessel is lined with epithelial cells. Epithelial cells here also, epithelial cells here also, both top and bottom. Now what happens here is the blood moves into the blood capillary. Okay, and here you can see that the epithelial cell do not have gaps in between, and these blood capillaries are, they are actually, you can say that if blood comes inside, it can easily flow out of the blood capillary. Okay, now what do these histamines do is they will shrink the epithelial cells that is there here. As a result, you can see here the blood capillaries, the size is shrunk. As a result, there are gaps created in between. Okay, so there is more and more amount of gap that is present inside the blood capillary. Because there is more gap, there is gushing action of the blood into the blood capillary. So more amount of blood moves into the capillary, it goes out of the capillary because there are gaps created in between the epithelial cells. Yes, and this is called as angioedema. Okay, so there is movement of, so there is, this part becomes red because the blood flow, there is excess moving in and out of the blood, there is gushing action of the blood that is happening. So these are some of the reactions that is seen in the hypersensitivity reaction. I told you the goblet cell, it increases the secretion, the mucus secretion, excess accumulation of mucus. Okay, the smooth muscles, it contracts. Okay, your lungs, it's supposed to contract and relax. That's how there is intake and release of the oxygen, but it leads to excess contraction. Again there is breathlessness seen in the people. And the blood vessel, the fluid, the blood gushes into and it oozes out. Okay, so there is vasodilation seen. This process is also called as vasodilation. So this is how the entire reaction of hypersensitivity or anaphylaxis happen. It will be clear to you if you sit with the AMI, antibody mediated immunity, the that reaction, the pathway, this will be understood clearly to you. Thank you.